Hello everyone, and welcome back to Flannel Jammy's Farm. My name is Donna Ray, and this is my little channel where I talk about cross stitch, and sometimes honeybees, and sometimes gardening, and lots of other things that are going on in my life, but mostly cross stitch. If it's your first time visiting with me today, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Sit back, relax, and I hope you enjoy your visit. If you've come back again, thank you. You're so kind to come back and visit me again, and I'm glad you're here. So I wanted to talk to you a bit today about so many things. I've been away for a little bit, and many of you have been incredibly sweet, and you've contacted me to say, are you okay? I miss you. I can't express my gratitude enough for that. I really appreciate it. I'm doing fairly well, and just lots of things have been going on. I spent a week in Williamsburg caring for my 85-year-old aunt, and she ran circles around me. So I was a little exhausted after that. No, she's darling, and she's just a precious lady, and it was sweet time together. I have some things that have been going on at church. We did an Easter basket ministry for homeless children in our area, where we got donations from the congregation and put together 24 stuffed Easter baskets for homeless children in our city, and that was much appreciated. And then last Sunday we did something at our church. It's a yearly event that I'm a part of. It's called Hands-On Hosanna, and it's a wonderful celebration for the entire church family. We do a potluck lunch. We tell a story, either the Easter story itself, or this year, for instance, we told the story of the 3 trees. If you haven't read that book, I highly recommend it. It's a children's book called The 3 Trees. But we read that, and then we have usually 5 or 6 or 7 crafting stations where we make lots of handcrafts for our homes and our gardens and our lives that relate to our faith. So they're not just Easter bunnies and jelly beans, but they're things that relate to our faith. And so they're much more meaningful for me, and I hope for our church family. So it's kept me busy, but I'm here now, and I'm so happy to visit with you today. Let's get started. I want to start with a couple of charming mentions. The first one is a fairly new friend of mine. Her name is Betty Heck, and she is a local stitcher in our area. I met her at Dying to Stitch. I also met her precious son, who is now my buddy. And Betty has a channel called Created to, the number 2, Create BH. So Created to Create BH. It's a lovely channel. Betty has just a kind and generous spirit. She has a lovely Etsy shop where she's been doing project bags and other beautiful things. She does amazing mixed media finishes of her stitching. You have to go and watch. It's just beautiful. And so I highly recommend that you visit Betty at her channel and give her some FlossTube love. Give her some likes and subscribes. The next one is Cynthia at Cynthia Brew. I have been watching Cynthia and just really love her channel. She is so sweet. She's recently posted a 4-part series showing all of her Stitch Mania picks for 2019. And it's wonderful. It's just so much fun to watch which patterns she's picked and what she's going to do. And she's incredibly organized. Her illustrated spreadsheet of the charts that she's going to do. Amazing! So again, that's Cynthia Brew here on FlossTube. All right, so it has been a minute since I've visited with you, and I've actually done a wee bit of stitching. There are some large projects that I really want to start, but I promised myself that I would do some smaller projects that have been hanging over my head, get them finished, get them done, and get them off of my WIP pile before I would allow myself to start those larger projects. So here we go. The first one I want to show you, I had been stitching on this. This is Berry Bird from the Scarlet House. And this was a retreat piece when Tanya from the Scarlet House visited Dying to Stitch last year to be the designer for the retreat. She brought this for us. This is our small Friday project, and then we got a larger project that's to die for on the Saturday. But this was the smaller Friday project, and it's Berry Bird, and it showed, she had the model there, and it also shows on the back of the chart that it was finished atop a candlestick, a black one. Oh my goodness, what a great idea, right? So here's my finish. And if you follow me on Instagram, you've seen a little video of this. And I finished it on a red candlestick and added beautiful kind of velveteen, large red rickrack around that. And what I did is I actually made a pillow for underneath the stitching that's stuffed with sawdust. And so I made that pillow with muslin, stuffed it with sawdust, and then put that atop my board, put my stitching on top, laced it all to the board, and then applied it to the candlestick, and then added the rickrack around the sides. And I love it. I just love it. I think it's darling. What do you think? Candlestick finish. My next FFO, a fully finished object, and then another fully finished object. I know, you may be on the wrong channel, but this was a piece that I stitched last year. It's a freebie chart from Sub Rosa Designs called Happy Easter, and it's this sweet little lamb. I stitched it on R&R Reproductions linen, and the color is in the pink. Isn't it precious? And the chart in the basket are the words Happy Easter. I left those out. I didn't like it. I just wanted the basket just as it is. So I put it in this cute little white frame and added just some trim to the bottom. And I think it's just adorable. What do you think? Happy Easter. I think it's perfect for the season, and I'm so glad to have this fully finished. Let's go on to some FOs, some finished objects. Again, these are things that I've finished stitching, but haven't made them into anything yet. So here we go. The first one that I'm going to tell you about is the Sally Spencer Sampler. Now remember, this was a stitch along last year. I'm slothful, so I just finished it. I had shown you in my last video my progress on that one, and I was actually able to finish it. It's stitched on R&R Reproductions linen in the color Sea Fog, and I think it just turned out beautifully. It is now on its way to the very skilled hands of Sherry and Terry at Total Framing in Northern Virginia. When it comes back in its frame, I'll show it to you again. But here's a photo so that you can see it. I really love how it turned out. All right, the next one, this was a kit from Danish Handcraft Guild, and Glenn, Southern Stitcher, gave me the kit at the Virginia Stitchers meetup one day, and I stitched it up. This is called Ugly Duckling. It's just precious. It's so small. I love the kits from the Danish Handcraft Guild, and this one particularly was just so sweet. How we all maybe start out as ugly ducklings, but we all become swans in our own way. Thank you, Glenn. This was a great little stitch. So the next one is Be Kind from the Primitive Hare. And here it is. I had had this chart in my stash for so long, and I kept meaning to do it. Oh, it'll be a quick stitch, I should do it, and then it would fall to the bottom of the pile. Well, finally, it made it to the top. And so here's my finish. Oops. There it is. Be kind. I did change, and you'll see, I did change the placement of the wording, and I also changed the colors. Part of the colors called for black, and it seemed just a little bit too harsh for me, so I used a black brown, and I changed the color, the golden color in the bees to, let me see, changed that to Weeks Dye Works Whiskey. That's what it was. And so I stitched this on a 36 count American Chestnut from R&R Reproductions, of course, because I love their linen so much. And I love how it turned out. I have a frame that just might work for this, so I'm going to see if it does, and if it does, I'll show it to you next time as an FFO. My next FO is from Heartstring Sampler II, and it's Stitch or Die. I believe this was a market release this year, but when I started stitching it in 2017, it was a retreat exclusive. Again, Beth Twist had come to Dying to Stitch to be the featured designer at one of their retreats, and this was our Friday gift. And I started it and just never finished it. It was languishing in my whip pile, and so here we go. I have a finish on that one. And it's Stitch or Die. I love the little dog. I should have done it a little bit redder, and then it could really be scarlet, right? Finally, for my finished objects, I have Plum Street Sampler's Goat Load. And this was a stitch along that Emily C., Eclectic Possessions, started for her birthday. And so I hopped right on board. I mean, because Emily and goats, I mean, what more could I want, right? So I stitched this one up, and I just love it. This is on a 40 count R&R Reproductions vintage beeswax. Look at those goats. Oh my gosh, they're precious. I love this pattern so much, and happy birthday, Sal, to you, Emily. I talked to you last time about Blackberry House from Plum Street Samplers, and I'm still plugging away on that one. I haven't done a lot of work because, again, I've been trying to finish some of these other whips that have been hanging around. But I got a bit more done, so I'll show you my progress there. It's on my scroll frame. And here we go. So I've finished the box on the bottom, and I'm starting to do the alphabet. So just a little bit of progress, but hey, every stitch counts, right? Right. I so love this pattern, and I've loved watching some of you complete it and stitch on it, so pretty soon it's going to get a lot of stitches. All right, now I have had some magical arrivals. I want to tell you about them. First of all, Pam, Farm Boys Love, sent me a beautiful card and just a very kind note inside. And so Pam, I want to thank you for that. But she had seen a chart that she thought I would enjoy, and so right. This one is Schoolhouse for the Needle, and this is a wee bit sampler for Be the Change That You Want to See. It's perfect. This chart is full of lots and lots of specialty stitches, some I'd never seen, I'm going to be honest. But it's such a perfect sampler. And so I also want to show you, I won't show you the chart, or I'll try not to, but I wanted to show you inside because it's charted so beautifully. Each one of the specialty stitches is completely charted out with step-by-step instructions for you. I need that. Because again, some of these stitches I had never heard of. So each band gives you a new stitch and new things to learn. This is going to be a great piece for me to really just meditate over as I stitch it and learn new things and grow as a stitcher. Pam, I'm so grateful. Thank you. Try not to get weepy. The next one, many of you, if you've been to Dying to Stitch, you've met Robin. Robin works at Dying to Stitch. She has a smile for everyone. She has a heart as big as the world. She is kind and loving and incredibly knowledgeable. And she asked me if I would like this kit that she had. I think it came her way a few years ago. It was a market kit from Shepherd's Bush. And here it is. I'll just show it to you. It's called Be Happy. And it has this adorable little bee skep on it, and it says Be Happy, and it's just perfect. And so she described it to me, and I said, oh, I would love that. And so she brought it to me and gave it to me. And it's a full kit, right? The fabric is a 10 count, and you use 3 strands of floss to stitch the pattern. I've never done that, so I'm really excited. I think it will go fairly quickly, but I'm excited to try this method. And it's got little tiny buttons that go on it. Oh, Robin, thank you. You are so sweet. And I just love seeing you all the time. Okay. The next one I want to show you. Debbie and Kefren, Snug Harbor Crafts, said that they were going to send me something. And thank you. Oh my gosh, thank you for thinking of me. And so one day this big box arrived and my husband said, you have a package? And I said, I do. And so he showed it to me, and I opened it up, and I'm just going to show it to you so I don't cry. Home is where your honey is. It's a beautiful chalk couture piece in a beautiful frame. Absolutely stunning. Absolutely perfect. And these ladies sent this my way. Debbie and Kefren, thank you. You don't know. It was so kind and so beautiful. Thank you. This community, right? Not just because of the gifts, but because of the love, because of the prayers, because of the encouragement and friendships. It's just amazing, and I am blessed every day by it. So, all right, let's talk about my shopping bags. They're kind of bursting at the seams, so yikes. The first thing I'm going to show you is, I'm a little behind because, right, I wasn't here for a minute. And so I've got from XJU Designs. Remember, I joined their monthly Fabric of the Month club, and I get 40 count more primitive colors of linen. And so this one is February's color, and it's called Medieval Gold. Isn't that amazing? Oh, it's so, so pretty. Look at that. I just love it. The modeling is just perfect. The color is rich. This is beautiful. So that's February. And then I got the March color, and this one is Spring Wind. It's perfect for this time of year. Spring Wind. It's this beautiful blue-green, very light, almost cloud color. It's just amazing, just amazing. So perfect. Oh, I love it. So that's the March color. XJU Designs. And then Luminous Fiber Arts, right? Misty posted beautiful fabrics, and I had never ordered any. So I thought, okay, I'll give it a whirl. So I got a 36 count macchiato linen, and this is a, whoops, this is a fat 1/8, and it's, oh, it's lovely, 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 lovely. I just think it's going to be perfect. So again, that's macchiato from Luminous Fiber Arts. And next, I'm going to show you last month's Victorian Motto Sampler Shop Prim Thread Colors. I haven't gotten this month's yet, but I'm sure they're on their way. But what do you think of those? Oh, I just love them. This is such a good deal. If you don't get the Victorian Motto Sampler Shop monthly shipments or any of their threads, it's such a good deal. And the colors are just gorgeous. Oh, wait, I gotta take this out.
Is that in the plastic? No. What the?
What the what? Right?
What the hecking heck? That's what they say at Snug Harbor Craft.
I'm not gonna take that one out because it's got trim in it. Next, because we all saw it and we all fell in love with it, it's Kitten Stitchers, A Savior's Praise. And I saw this and had to order it. The border alone is stunning. I mean, there are so many vignettes just in the border, but then the center of the sampler and the verse and the whole, it's amazing. It's amazing. It's really a beautiful, beautiful design. I couldn't love it more. It's so meaningful, and particularly for this time of year as we celebrate Easter. So Teresa, thank you. And again, as many have shown, I got a card, the Kitten Stitcher card, and so that may be coming to a friend soon in the mail. I ordered from Trisha at 3 Owl Threads, and I got this beautiful kit, and it's called Queen Bee from Reverse, and it's got, oops, a little bee charm and the lace in the back. I'm trying to cover up the chart. Just precious, right? And what better for a beekeeper? So I got that one. My friend Becky Nolan designs under the name of Lucy Beam Love and Stitches, and this year for market came out Maria Casson 1822, and it is a beautiful sampler. It is just gorgeous. The colors are lovely, the verse is lovely, so amazing. So I ordered that one as well. Can't wait to get my hands starting on that. So yeah, those are my shopping bags. But wait, there's more. You know, my LNS is dying to stitch. And so I may have purchased 1 or 2 things there as well. Oh my goodness, I won't show you all of them, but you know, many of them you've seen, they're market releases and you've seen them, and they're all absolutely beautiful. I was really happy to get my hands on the Blackbird booklets because guess what? The Dying to Stitch Spring Retreat is with Blackbird Designs. It's coming up April 26th and 27th. I cannot wait. Samplings of memories, beautiful scissor fob with a B-scap, beautiful little horn book, stickers from Heartstring Sampler II. I mean, all the things. I will show you, however, I was in there the other day with my friend Glenn, Southern Stitcher, and don't you know, she went to the back of the shop and got the sale bins and brought them up to the front of the shop. And she was going through them and she said, oh, you need to go through these too. And I said, oh, okay, I will. And so she pulled this one out and she said, I think you need this one. This is Mary Moatshead. Look at her. I mean, look at that red dress. It's to die for. I mean, a guilty and helpless worm, on thy kind arms I fall. Be thou my strength and righteousness, my Jesus and my all. It's amazing. She said, you need this. I agreed. Also from the sale bin was one I had never seen before. This is by my friend Paulette at Plum Street Samplers, and it's Anne Barson Lowbrow, 1837. Okay, so it's a sampler. And let me read you this wonderfully morbid, fabulous poem. Mark from the tomb a doleful sound, my ear attend the cry. Ye living men, come view the ground where you must shortly lie. Princes, this clay must be your bed, in spite of all your towers. The tall, the wise, the reverend head must lie as low as ours. Isn't that awesome? You know, Linda at Blue Horse Yellow Cow was talking about how she really likes these kind of morbid death poetry kind of things, and I'm the same exact way. They somehow are comforting. They are they resonate so strongly with me. And so when we travel, my husband and I often poke around in graveyards, and we visit Edgar Allan Poe's grave all the time. And so this, I'd never seen this. Paulette, where have you been hiding this? I was delighted to get this, and it was marked down to $4. So anyway, that's all my shopping bags for right now. I did want to share with you 2 segments in the way of honeybee updates. And the first segment is going to be a little bit about honey extraction from frames where the bees have capped honey and stored it. We have had a couple of hives that absconded. They left. They went in search of another place to live. It's different from a swarm. It's where the whole colony just says, I gotta go. And we wish them well, and we hope that the great bee leads them to somewhere safe and dry and warm. But they had left all this honey. So we popped them in the freezer for a few days just to make sure if there's any parasite or problem with it. We freeze them. We freeze the honey. And then we're able to extract it. So I'm going to show you now a couple of clips of our extracting honey. After that, I'm going to show you some film and still photos of us picking up 2 nuke boxes and bringing them home to give the bees a permanent home. A nuke box is a small nucleus colony. It usually comes with 5 frames of wax comb, a queen bee, honey bees, babies, pollen, and nectar. And so we are going to show you how we bring those home, put them in a permanent home here on Flannel Jammy's farm, and wish them well and hope that they flourish. So if you're not interested in honeybees, it's totally fine. I've enjoyed my time with you, and we'll meet again soon. But if you are interested, hang around. So we had some bees who left their hives, and there was honey left in the hive. And so we took those frames of honey and we froze them until we could have a time to extract the honey from those frames. And today is that day. And so we've been extracting in our big extractor. My husband's going to open the honey gate on the extractor. Oh, look at that. Liquid gold. That is pure, unadulterated honey from hives here at Flannel Jammy's farm. So we let the honey out of the extractor, and it goes through this double filtration, because in uncapping the wax cappings from where the bees have stored the honey in their honeycomb, as you spin the frames in the extractor, you also get bits of pollen and things that are in the beeswax and the beeswax itself. And so in the top tray you'll see there's wax cappings, and down in the bottom you see what's coming out is filtered, beautiful, pure honey. So all of the wax and debris that came out with the honey from the extractor has gone through 2 stainless steel filters. They're not ultra processed. It's not forced through fine ultra filtration systems. It's just gently with gravity run through 2 stainless steel filters. And there is that beautiful honey down in that bucket. So here we have one nuke or nucleus colony. This is a small starter hive, usually comes with bees and a queen bee and some frames of brood or bee babies and some frames of pollen and honey. And so they have food, they have babies, they have everything they need to start their new home. And we're going to give them a nice bigger home. They came in these plastic nuke boxes, and so we're going to give them a nice home here at Flannel Jammy's farm. We transported them in the Jeep, and so we put a mesh laundry bag around the nuke, because as you can see, a few do get loose, and we did drive home with several on the windows. I'm wondering what the other drivers thought when they saw that. But so we put a mesh bag around there just to keep too many from getting loose in the vehicle while we're driving them home. It took about 30 minutes to drive home from where we picked them up. So there we go. Tom's going to set that down and try to open that bag so we can let those bees loose. There we go. Yeah, he's just going to hang it on the fence. There you go, sweetie. Good job. So we're going to open this nuke up. Here we go. And there they are. Look at those bees. They're in there, they're happy, they have frames, they're just working away. This is a little different than a previous video we showed installing a package, which is just 3 pounds of bees and a queen in a cage without frames and a wax comb and food and babies. This is a better way to get started, in our opinion. We're going to give them some empty frames on either side, because a nuke comes with 5 frames and we have 8 frame hives. So we need a couple more in there. So he's going to take this one out. This is the first frame. He's using his hive tool to kind of pry it up without disturbing the bees too much. And there we go, and you'll see that one has nectar and pollen on it. So that's their food stores. They usually do those to the outside. Babies are closer to the center of the hive. Excuse us, girls. Oh, and there you'll see some brood on that one. Tom, could you hold that one up for just a second? Just gently. There's some comb on the bottom. Some burr comb. Yeah, you'll see that right on the bottom is just extra comb that they build. But those covered over cells, those are babies inside there that are pupating. There we go. There's some more on the other side. Fantastic. Thank you. So we're going to finish up putting this hive together, and then we're going to put a feeder on top and give them some sugar water just to help them get started. So, it's a happy day at Flannel Jammy's farm. Okay, so we've got the bees installed. We've got the Rosabelle hive set up, and this is the Pearl hive, named after one of my grandmothers. And Tom is pouring some sugar water into the top feeder. There are floats inside of there. This is a sugar syrup that we made. And there are floats inside of there, so as he pours the syrup in, the floats actually float on top. And so the bees can stand on those floats and drink the sugar syrup. And they can come up from the hive through that center opening. Can you point to that, Tom, right here? Yeah, that center opening. They can come right up through there, drink, and go right back down in the hive without ever leaving home. So here they are, 2 hives. We're going to button everybody up, and we'll see you soon. My friends, it's been delightful hanging out with you today and sharing all the things that I've been doing. I hope that you are all well. I pray that you have a blessed and glorious Easter. And as always, I invite you to be the grace and the kindness that you want to see in our world. Bye-bye, my friends.
If I just say the words, is that enough to make them true? If I just say